Welcome everyone, it is Bulldog 1205 here, less than 24 hours away from the official launch of Illuvium. That time is almost here for one of the most anticipated games in Web 3. You're gonna see a lot of content coming from me. But the first thing I wanna do is kind of break down the ILV token and explain why this token is different, how it's kind of a giant step down a different path at this point. It's gonna look a little different, actually a lot different than a lot of the other Ponzinomics tokens that we've really seen in the past, and this is going to be kind of blazing a new path, probably a more sustainable path, and I think this is going to be a better direction for Web 3. Before I do that though, I do want to say that if you're downloading the game, if you're playing the game, make sure you go use Bulldog 1205, Bulldog 1205 as your creator code. That is the best way that you can support the channel. I am a member of the affiliate program, and it does help go back to some of the Dart Squirrels. I use funds for my channel to buy back Dart Squirrel NFTs. If you want one of those Dart Squirrel NFTs, leave a comment down below. I will choose a random comment, a random winner on this video to give a Dart Squirrel NFT to. And you know what? If this video gets 1,000, for every 1,000 views this video gets, I'll give away an extra Dart Squirrel. So I don't know, maybe this can be one of those videos where we give away 20, 30, 40 Dart Squirrels. Or maybe we'll just do one, we'll have some fun. But regardless, let's talk about ILV, why it is different. And especially at this point, because at this point, a lot of the token has already been distributed. You still have some. We come to the staking grade down here. You still have some tokens that are not released yet. We still have the Play to Airdrop campaign that's going on with the official launch. It's going to, so there's going to be some ILV rewards for playing the game, but in general, Illuvium is not necessarily a play to earn type game. There was actually a recent proposal in order to add ILV rewards to Gauntlet and things like that, and it was basically shot down, and we don't want to go down that route. We want this to be a game that people are like, a Web 2 game that people are playing for Web 2 reasons, that players have control. It has a Web 3 aspect, and that's exactly what they're doing here, because the reason to own the ILV token, if we come in here, I just bought a little bit, probably going to buy a lot more. You're gonna see this number go up quite a bit as I start to move stuff in, start staking it. But the reason to buy the ILV token and stake it is so that you can get revenue distribution. That is the big thing with the tokenomics at this point in the game. The airdrop is over, the reward, the yield rewards are done. You don't get any of those. If you come into staking here, it's going to say that, not rewards, if you come into staking, there is 0% APR. Well, that's because the yield rewards are over. Now it is revenue distribution. 100% of the revenue that comes in to Illuvium is going to be used to buy back the ILV token and distribute it to those who are staking the ILV token. And that is a very different way of doing things than we've seen so far. And the biggest thing is there is no there's no portion that goes to the team and then the rest gets spread out to everybody else. The team gets theirs because they have the ILV token. As an ILV staker, you basically earn revenue the same way the team does. And I've heard some people kind of question that and say, well, do we want the Illuvium team to have to sell ILV in order to make their money, get to fund development of the game, whatever the case is? And ultimately, we don't know how exactly they're going to fund all of that and what methods they're going to take. But even if they did decide to sell 100% of it, that is being bought off the market. So if it's being bought off the market and then they turn around and sell it, that's still a net zero there. That's not going to negatively hurt the market because the team is deciding to sell those. So this is just a huge, I just think the tokenomics are a huge upgrade over what we saw from, I mean, originally back in the Axie days, back in the Peg Axie, Thetan Arena, some of those huge Ponzinomics that everybody could see were going to collapse. Even now you have, I'm a big Splinterlands content creator. The Splinterlands economy and tokenomics I actually like, but they can get convoluted, they get very complicated, they're harder to manage. This is so simple. You go in, You stake your ILV and you earn revenue share. So real quick, let's go look at, this is kind of an old picture I found online, but it works. Where does the revenue come from? So starting tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of fuel sold. So if we come over here, if I can kind of click on it, you can kind of see it. So not the ideal thing, but fuel is going to be sold to players to be used in the game for a lot of different things. You need it to travel in the overworld, to go capture alluvials or mine materials. You need it to fuse alluvials. You need it to create weapons, to upgrade your equipment, things like that. Fuel is going to be used for everything, and you are going to buy that from the game, swapping it with ETH. I think you can even maybe use USDC. Regardless, you're going to use crypto in order to get, I guess, from the fuel ETH pool. So mainly ETH. You're going to acquire fuel in order to play the game. There are multiple games you can play. You can play Illuvium 0, which is a way that you can earn fuel. That fuel can also be sold to other players. 5% of the fuel that is sold goes back to landholders. 19% of that goes basically to the DAO, which will be used to buy back ILV and distribute to players. Now you do have things like Immutable takes their fee over here. So there's some other things. We come up here, yield and distribution. Again, there's no more yield. It is just revenue distribution. Players spend on their 0 to boost their development. It gets used to buy back ILV and ship it over here to ILV stakers. You travel in the overworld, you fuse some alluvials, use fuel that way. It goes to the DAO vault, gets sent to those who are staking ILV. This doesn't have to be a complicated video because the tokenomics aren't complicated at this point. You go read through you can definitely, you can dive deeper if you want. You absolutely can dive deeper. There were different types of ILV, and there was like an in-game ILV. That's all they compared to 2 gift cards. Those are not made anymore. Those have already been distributed. Like you can come see up here the SILV2. We're kind of past that phase. You don't really need to know about a lot of that anymore. It's revenue distribution and governance. And I am a big fan of the way Illuvium does the governance because, okay, I've been a Splinterlands content creator, and the Splinterlands DAO has kind of been a nightmare because people can vote on individual proposals and everybody gets a vote. It's a little different with Illuvium. There is a council. And I mean, and there's different types of councils. Ultimately, you can vote on the council that can help decide. So you get more educated people making direct decisions. Like that's why here I'm from the US, and not to try to bring politics in it, but governance here is kind of gaming politics. But we don't run an exact democracy, right? We have representatives to make those decisions because imagine having the people actually vote on every individual bill. It'd be a nightmare. That's kind of what we got in Splinterlands. I think in Illuvium, the council is going to work much better, and it's a much simpler system that I just think it's going to work. It aligns incentives for the developers with that of the players, the investors, those who hold the ILV token. And ultimately, it's more about building a Web 2 game that is fun to play, that people want to spend money on, instead of having these Ponzinomics for people to earn income. This will do great if people love playing the game. The question isn't about the tokenomics moving forward now. The question is, are people going to enjoy playing this game enough to go spend money on it? I personally think it's a great game. I think we are. But I don't know. My biggest fear is that we still have like this is a game that Web 2 players will like. Web 2 players still see the word NFT, crypto, and they get scared off. A lot of our current Web 3 gamers just don't want, they only want to play if they're earning something. This isn't necessarily that type of game. There's a play to airdrop, so it kind of starts out that way with, you've got missions to accomplish, things like that to do. But that's just a marketing phase of the game. That's not long-term how the game is going to run. Can we entice enough Web 2 style gamers to come in and play the game? Is the game going to be good enough? That's the ultimate question. And we're gonna find out starting tomorrow. This is huge for Web 3 gaming. This is absolutely huge. This is going to be a massive barometer for where we are at. Everybody said we just need fun games. We just need fun games. We need higher quality games. This game is high quality. Are we going to get people to play it? I don't know, but I'm excited about it. I can't wait to find out. Make sure you guys comment down below. Leave a comment if you want to be eligible to win that Dart Squirrel. I'm going to pick at least one winner, hopefully several winners, and we're going to be doing a lot of live streams. I've taken 4 days off for the Illuvium launch to stream and cover and create content. I hope you guys go put my name in that referral field. Support the channel. Let me know down below what questions you have about Illuvium. I need to get up all sorts of beginner guides, strategy guides, things like that. I want to know, what are you guys having problems with? What are you struggling to figure out? What do you want to know? Give me video ideas down below in the comments. Can't wait to see you guys in game. See you there.